guys, welcome to my weekly Facebook Live. I'm Jen Burson. I'm the founder and president of Generation PR and the creator of Generation Academy and the Powerhouse Pros community. Welcome. I'm happy to have you here again. Let me get my notes all ready for you. This is going to be kind of a surprising topic for me to discuss because it's about being an introvert. I'm going to give it just a minute so I can have some of our friends come and join us. If you're here, welcome. Let me know where you are watching and who's here. And hopefully I'll be able to see your names because sometimes... Oh, Nicola from Dubai. Hi. Welcome. Thanks for being here. So how's everybody doing? I am now over COVID, I hope. Sometimes it kind of comes and goes, towards the end. Hopefully it's gone and no longer in the coming and going phase. Let me know. Okay, good. We found some of our friends have found us. Hi, Serena and Elaine. Oh, I did not receive that. Okay, Elaine, I'll look and see where it may have come into. And then I see the last one just said, hi, Jen, Facebook user. Who's that? You must be watching on the Powerhouse Pros page because I can't see who's here. Let me ask you guys that are here, do you feel that you are an introvert or an extrovert? Okay, I'll look for it. Yes, we are recovered. Thank you for asking. So let me know, are you an introvert or you an extrovert? I feel that this might be surprising. Introvert. See how this is? Okay, yes, I can see you. Hi, Chrissy. Look at this. All of these agency owners consider themselves introverts. Both. We got Nicola, both. I am, I guess maybe both, but I consider myself an introvert, and I know that would be surprising. My husband's like, BS, you are not. And what I have come to realize is that the concept of like being an introvert or an extrovert is not your outward personality. It is more about where you get your energy from. Are you energized by being around other people, or does it drain you? That's really the definition of introversion and extroversion that I'm going to kind of lean into today, because it's about the energy that you have when you're interacting with people and when you are kind of on your own. So I love being in my office, doing my thing. I love being here by myself. I love to have a little bit of downtime. When I go out into the world, like not just businessy. And Chrissy's saying, I'm too much of an empath to be an extrovert. So tell us a little bit more, because being an empath, you take on and you really feel the energy of other people. And that's good and bad, whether they're kind of down energy or like, draining energy. I find it very draining to be out and about, because I feel like I'm on, and I know here I'm on, but it's much more about sharing and connecting and serving when it's in this capacity. And personality and introversion and extroversion are not the same. Again, we're going to think about where we have our energy coming from. Some people feel like, oh my God, I've been, like COVID was great for me. Like, I was so happy, honestly, as long as, everyone I know and loved was healthy and all of that. And, my kids were okay. But that period of time, I felt very, like at ease and settled. Chrissy's saying it's good for intuition, but it's very draining. I have to work hard to not absorb others' negative energy, and then it will affect her physically. That's like a true empath. It's that you pick up on somebody's energy if they're in pain. Jane's like, I loved COVID. Only introverts get this, right? And my husband's always like, you're such an extrovert and I'm an introvert. I don't love the camera. I don't love being like the center of attention. I don't like those things either. But I happen to be okay being on camera. He was going stir crazy during COVID. Yeah, Jane, can't leave the house. Darn. Like when we have nothing on our calendar for the weekend, I'm like, yes, so happy to be home and, just I feel like so energized and happy. So you guys are my people. You get it. And I think that that's a little bit, maybe not, the word isn't confusing, but surprising that we would think you have to be extroverted in order to be a successful entrepreneur and agency owner and a comms pro. But I'm introverted, and it sounds like all of you're my people. I mean, maybe this is why we connect so much. Everyone who's on here are in our programs. We have talked multiple times. We have a deep connection. Yeah, Chrissy, same. I've never said like, oh, I'm an introvert, but it's where I'm getting my energy, where I feel energized when I'm around people. I feel extremely drained. So, I mean, these are, maybe that's why we feel a connection, because we get it. We're all trying to build a business that's all about outward communication and connection, but we feel personally that we are more energized by going inward, right? You can still have, obviously, by the proof of the people that are here, you can still have a successful business, a thriving new business pipeline, even if you tend to have introverted tendencies. Let's talk about this, because I want to make everybody feel seen and that we're not alone. And I think that's maybe why you all showed up, because I gave a topic last week and it was like crickets. Like, I don't remember. Oh, supporting our journalist friends during all of the, layoffs and whatnot. Kelly, do you find yourself to be an introvert or an extrovert? And I guess I'm describing myself as an extroverted introvert, because this is really who I am. I'm not like turning it on. This is just who I am at all times. But it's my energy. Like, I get really drained. I set my whole weeks up to center around where and when I will have energy for client calls, for interviews, for recording content, because those things really will drain me. And so if I have to have a meeting with someone in person, I usually won't schedule something after that, because I feel exhausted. My husband, who's like, I don't love the camera, I don't want to be the center of attention, he's out networking. He's doing lunches and breakfasts and dinners and networking events all the time. He's making friends while he's playing tennis. Like, I would venture to say he's more of an extrovert, because he's really energized by being out in the world, meeting other people. People couldn't find my live last week. That's so weird, because I was like, where are all the people? Only one person was on, but nobody said, oh, it's me. So I was thinking, like, where are you guys? An introverted journalist. They might like to be behind the scenes, doing the research, digging up the stories. I'll have to figure out what happened last week, but I'm so glad you all found me this week, because I was like, maybe my lives are dead and people don't care. But this one, I think we're all here because we're like, somebody is just like me. So we know you don't have to be an extrovert to be a comms pro. And Exhibit A, I am an introverted digital agency owner, and I would say, my business is exactly the way I set it up, the success that I gauge my business to be. So you can have a successful business being energized by being by yourself. So let's use that as the definition of introversion and extroversion. It does take a little bit of extra strategy to set up your agency in a way that will be conducive to your introverted tendencies. I have my perfect agency for my introverted tendencies. So it doesn't have to look like everyone else's. And you can focus on the services that really light you up and not do the things that might drain you instead of really trying to fit some mold you think you have to fit into. Like, I think in the beginning, I thought I had to want to do events, major events. And I did one. I think I told you guys it was one of the hardest, most draining, and stressful. Did not enjoy. 1 out of 10 did not like. And when we decided to do a live event, we opted to do a small, intimate, 10-person, smaller thing, because that's where I felt like we could really keep the energy up and make those deep connections. But if it were a room of 100 people, I'd be like, I could do like maybe a talk on stage for an hour, but not a whole, like my mentor, Brendan Burchard, I'm a certified high performance coach through his platform. He does 4-day live events, and the energy is supposedly way up here. You'd need to like institutionalize me after that. That sounds to me like an absolute nightmare. Even going to that event to me sounds like, I think I could do a day, maybe 2. Beyond that, I would be like, there's nothing left. And you have to be like, hi, I'm a business owner. Chrissy saying it resonates with the husband being a bit more extroverted, and sometimes she feels that maybe he's a bit too intense, and she will absorb that intensity. Does it make you feel on edge? Yeah, I can't operate at that level consistently. So I want you to focus on the things that will really light you up and energize you, and not have to worry about providing services or working with certain kinds of clients if it will drain you and make you feel like you're really pushing yourself every day in a way that isn't sustainable. So my 7 best strategies for thriving as maybe an introverted extrovert like me, or a true introvert, maybe like Jane, no matter your niche. The first is you want to figure out where you get your energy from. Like I said, as an introvert, you probably feel most energized when you're working on your own, or maybe with one close collaborator. I would say Elaine is very much in that camp. She has a partner that she works with virtually, and maybe that's energizing. It's a new change for somebody who's been doing this a long time, this new kind of partnership. So maybe one close collaborator can really energize you. But unlike extroverts, being around other people for long periods is really draining. Give me a heart, thumbs up if that's you, because I know these are my people. But from there, you need to take it a step further and figure out the tasks and the activities in your agency that drain you, and the ones that energize you, that light you up, that like light a little fire inside of you. And that's the first step to thriving as an introvert in your business. So I said, I think of myself as an extroverted introvert. I've been working from home before it was cool, before it was really accepted. I used to have to be like, oh no, my office is under construction, I'll meet you at Starbucks, because I was so self-conscious about working from home. And now I'm like, it's like not a big deal. But 18 years working from home, and I get my energy from being at home and focusing on my own work. And I know that I have maybe a bit more of like a bubbly and outgoing personality. And when I go out into the world, I really try to include everyone in conversations, because I know that feeling of like, okay, I'm just standing here and nobody's brought me into the fold, and I'm trying to connect, and they're all, I will look at somebody if I see them and nobody's addressed them, and I'll like bring them in, because that thought to me of someone just standing there and nobody is bringing them in is so stressful and cringy. I'm like, I have to be the one to be like, hey, come join us. So that's more of my personality. So I can tend to seem more extroverted in larger groups, but big events, traveling to client meetings, it gives me a lot of anxiety. And so I don't do that too often. Yeah. I don't know who's here. Let's keep an eye. If anybody sees anything a little bit strange happening in the comments, please try to handle that for me, because I'm not on Facebook. So stresses me out. Okay. Same. Yeah. Okay, good. I was like, people are going to be like, what are you talking about? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Okay, good, good. Like, that's why you're all here. I was like, they're going to say you're crazy. Because when I said to my husband, I'm introverted, I get my energy being home and I love it. And he's like, that's crazy. You're so outgoing. You love being on camera. To me, it's not like I want to shine. I want to be the center of attention. It's like I get to show up. I'm passionate about what I'm doing and I get to connect with people. And maybe there's a chance to help somebody transform their business or make a connection or support each other. But it's not like, don't make me sing. It's not that, right? So yesterday, my husband had to record a case study video. He just recently closed a transaction. His clients are the most sweet and kind and most dear husband and wife. Like, they're awesome. And they love my husband for helping them sell their business. And they said, you changed our lives, basically, helping us cement our legacy and transition to the next chapter of retirement and travel. And so he recorded a case study video. And when I tell you how nervous he was like, what am I going to do? And what am I going to say? And I had to write a script for him so that he felt he had something to lean on when he was at a loss or couldn't come up with the way to bring people along on that. Like, here's where we were, here's what you did, this is the, outcome. And he was just stressed and couldn't sleep for days and days and days. That's not me. I'll be fine, but it's just more like doing that. If I had to do a 2-day shoot, I would be exhausted and drained, and having to be on for that long would be really, really hard for me. So just know where you get your energy. And 2, lean into those strengths and be aware of the weaknesses. So when you know your strengths and weaknesses as an introverted digital agency owner, you can stay in your zone of genius, that zone of energy all day long. And you set yourself up with a role that will fully play into your strengths and will let you shine for the things that you are good at, but you also are wired for. And you could build a business that's going to energize you even when things are really tough. So that's how I feel my business has served me over the years, is like, if I need to step away or I'm having an emotional day, I can take a beat. I can be with myself and just recenter, take as much time as I need, go for a walk. And that's how I set it up. I did not want to have to go into an office every day. I used to have my associate, I always had an office from home. I used to have them come to my home office. They would come in the morning. And I know another one of our members, Candace, had an office and was having people do that. I found myself kind of dreading every day the knock on the door, like they're here. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to be around. Well, I loved the person, I loved the people, but the thought of being on and having to have someone around and manage them all day and be, what am I up to? What are you up? It's like, ugh, no, I just want to manage my own schedule and take that time to re-energize myself with little downtime, a walk, listen to a podcast, lay down for 15 minutes. And I never nap, but just decompress. So if you're someone who likes to be with your own company, I would say that's how I would describe myself. My mom is like that too. She is like her own best company. She can entertain herself for hours and read and play word games and, read the paper, read a book. She goes through novels. She works out. She's just always got something. Jane. Then every time you buy a new toss pillow, they're like, why aren't we getting a raise? It's like, yeah, so I like to have a nice home that's really well appointed. It doesn't mean there's, extra funds to pay for you. That's exactly right. It's too much in my business, go out of my space. So when you have downtime where you're in between interacting with others, you can focus your energy there and let others on your team go out in the world when clients need that. I have in the past sent team members to New York for desk sides in my stead. I have gone to New York for events and gone to client events and traveled. That's a real story Jane shared. That is ridiculous. And, traveled. But honestly, the thought of it all the way leading up into the event stresses me out beyond words beyond. I'm just like, oh, I can't believe I have to do this. I can't believe I have to go. Oh my God. Oh my God. And then I go and I'm fine and I turn it on. I'm just like myself. And then I leave and I'm like, thank God, I can't do another day of that. So you want to be staying energized in your zone of genius so that it'll set you up to provide the best service possible and love your business long term. I knew that if I were going to be committed to a world of large scale events that I had to produce and manage, I would have flamed out hard years ago. So like I said, also in the beginning of my agency, it was pre-Zoom, but I would drive hours to meet clients in person because they asked, let's get a meeting together. Even though I felt more myself, more effective and more comfortable right here doing what I'm doing now. And so now remotely, I get the opportunity to really think through my words and my thoughts. I felt in person, I was really on the spot. And I would always just answer. One of the things we learned in litigation, we learned as an attorney, is that if you don't know the answer to something, say it and say, I'm not quite sure. Let me look into that and get back to you. But on the spot, I felt like I had to come up with an answer or I looked incompetent. And it is just much better for me than speaking on the spot to be in this environment. So if I were still working in person, I'd be anxious on most days. I would not love my business the way that I love it now. Because I get my energy from this environment, I set up my agency to be more focused on supporting clients with strategy, connecting with other digital agency owners through our programs, and pitching for new business. My team pitches the media because I just also don't love that so much. But this is why I created my program Elevate, which is my high performance coaching experience. We are accepting applications now for our 2024 cohort. I'm going to just put that there if you want to. We've had several of you guys actually apply, which is so awesome. This is why I wanted this. I wanted to create a program that merges high performance and the factors that will lead you to make the right choices for the best outcomes in your business and your life, and have a real clear idea of your vision and your values, and find ways that you get your energy, that you feel like you have the most clarity, and have a plan in place to create a really seamless integration of your work and your life, your energy, your relationships, your physiology, your mental health, your environment that you live in, and how your business serves that, and how all of that will support your goals with your business. So it's really the only program of its kind that is geared, it merges the proven high performance frameworks with running an agency like ours, digital agency. So that's the application. Did it post? Oh, it did. Okay. Check it out, and I'm happy to DM you on Instagram and tell you more about it. We had an amazing cohort the first time, and it was so awesome. The transformations that happened in real time were amazing. We had one member triple her rates and her annual income immediately during the program, which was like, oh, so good. Okay. So that's 2, is you want to lean into those strengths and weaknesses. 3, call on a mentor. That's why you all are here. We have community, we have mentorship. So we know there are others just like us. I'm very surprised to personality-wise, like I get that we're all sort of like introverted, but I am surprised by how many people are in the same energetic boat as I am. So there are tons of people out there like us, and having somebody that is a mentor to help you navigate this industry and finding your way when it might be a little more challenging, having the energy come from not being out and interacting in the world. You want somebody to help you do all of that without getting drained, and identify your strengths and weaknesses, and help you identify those so that you can set yourself up for long-term success. And with a mentor, you can work towards improving those weak spots. And maybe that means growing your public speaking skills or figuring out how to delegate the workload to keep you in your zone of genius. So you're not having to do all of the things that actually will drain you, but are kind of necessary in your business. And I've gone through this industry as an extroverted introvert, and I do have valuable strategies that you can use to make those tough tasks a little bit easier. And that's, what we are working on with the group, the cohort in Elevate. Let me know in the comments, have you heard of Elevate, my Elevate program? I just want to make sure that you guys have at least heard of it or heard me talk about it. So, and having that close-knit group that has that level of focus and drive and commitment and passion to self-growth. Okay, Nicola, yeah. Good. I'm good. Sometimes I'm like, everybody knows everything and we talk about it all the time. And then people will say, I didn't know about that. And I'm going, well, okay. So we didn't get everyone. Serena, yes. Serena's going to be a part of the next cohort. I'm so excited about that. So having a close collaborator on your team who might be more of an extrovert can also help as you work with your mentor, and they can really hype up your work during client calls if that's something that maybe you struggle with. I know a lot of PR pros who might view themselves as introverts have a really hard time, Jane, promoting themselves and putting themselves out there, and it's all about the clients and they're behind the scenes. Natasha, who maybe I should tell her to come here, might be in that boat too, but you want to take the lead in in-person events, or they can take the lead in in-person events while you are working on big picture strategy at home. So you can't imagine, well, you said, yeah, but I think only once. The Elevate, yes, it has only been one beta cohort. It was incredible, beyond my wildest dreams. Natasha is so great at it, but she wants everyone else to shine. She, realizes that putting herself out there in that way on TikTok and look how she's connected with other, and Natasha went through Elevate too. It's helped her connect with the right kinds of clients. And she's got to do these red carpet events. And she said it's very draining for her, but it's necessary. So she does them and she is excellent at them. Nicola's saying, hated client calls in my old agency. She's had to work hard on pitch skills on sales calls. An agency accelerator helps with that for sure, because we give you everything that you need to get out of the call, what to ask, what to walk away with, so you can write a really detailed proposal, how to position your services so you and your client are aligned. And Elevate takes it up a notch. It's that, the confidence that comes with clarity and realizing your influence, realizing your strengths. So yes, you can get on the phone and say all the right things, and we can give you the things to say and the things to ask. But if you don't believe it, if you don't feel confident that you can deliver on the promises or the things their clients are coming to you for, then that's going to show in your energy level on sales calls, and you're not going to convert. Nicola's saying, even Pitch Lab has helped me so much recently with that. Love it. That's awesome. Okay, cool. Nicola, can you do me a favor? You guys, this is embarrassing, but you're my people. We're collecting testimonial, little snippets. Could you write that comment again? That's Pitch Lab has helped me with my pitch skills and confidence on sales calls, so I can clip it and put it in my little file, because otherwise it's not as clear what you're talking about. Is that so embarrassing? It's so embarrassing. Okay, whatever. But you guys know you need proof of social proof that our stuff actually is good, because I could be up here all day and be like, my stuff is great. Okay, thank you. She's like, of course. you don't get it unless you ask, right? I had to ask. But yeah, it's better when you hear it from someone else. So that's very compelling. I appreciate that. So having someone on your team that is that person that might be energized and feel up to it. Maybe you lean on them, you outsource, you're like, you do that stuff. And, clients, they'll go with it. Honestly, I used to be afraid like they want me, and it's like, no, they just want support, and it didn't have to be me. Number 4, leverage what you love. So when you have a defined zone of genius and a set of tasks or the responsibilities that are the things in your business that you actually love, you can leverage those and then create a business around it so that you're doing what you love and lights you up every day. So it's your agency. You get to decide which services that you offer to your clients. And if a client comes and they request a service, like clients will come and say, we want influencer events, we want tastemaker events. I'm like, cool. I have a great company that's incredible, and we will be there to secure the media piece, because I am not going to be producing your influencer event. That is not my jam. It would stress me out, and I'm not doing it. So outsource those tasks to someone who does love it. And if someone joins your team who has a completely different zone of genius, maybe you then expand your offerings that will account for their strengths. So it's not just all the things that you do and that you love, but if someone comes along and they're like, I love creating social media content, I love writing captions, I can create great graphics in Canva, cool. Let's create a service around that, because then you're doing something you love, and now we have a new income stream that is not centered around things that I personally have to do. I can talk about it and I can sell it all day long, but I'm not going to be the one to execute. And when you lean into the services you love, then you're building a business you will love long term. But if you feel like you have to spend your day on these projects that you hate or tasks that drain you, that's a recipe for burnout. And this is what I've done in my business. The positive side of it is building that team who takes care of those day-to-day responsibilities so that I get to focus on big picture strategy, creative approaches, problem solving, client services, and then, of course, creating resources for our community. So build your team and lean into their strengths and supplement the things that maybe you're not the best at. Number 5, build a community on your own terms. Your network is a crucial part of entrepreneurship. What do they say? Your network is your net worth. That's so stupid, but it's like kind of true. I mean, my husband left his job, started his own business because without even knowing what he wanted to do, just started consulting because of the strength of his network. And then over time, figured out exactly how to take all of the skills that he was good at and that he loved and harness his experience and then leverage the network to build his business. And that is where the network comes into play, where you are building a network that will support your business. But I know it's really hard to build a network when you're an introvert, because you're like not loving going out to networking events. But you don't, thankfully, have to build a community in person, because we have platforms like LinkedIn and, of course, our programs and our communities, the Agency Accelerator, the Pitch Lab community, and, of course, the smaller, more focused group that will come together for Elevate. And this gives you access to like-minded agency owners online without having to go out into the world, feel stressed, and feel drained. If you do decide to attend networking events or industry conferences, which we love, let yourself be an introvert. Don't try to be the loudest voice in the room or compete with getting attention and wear yourself out. Try to go for those one-on-one interactions or small groups, like 3 to 4 people. Definitely try to meet new people. Don't just like go with a friend and sit in the corner and be like, wait. But have those smaller group interactions, because those meaningful, deeper discussions with a handful of people are far more impactful than a quick 2-minute conversation with a big group where you're not getting anybody's names, or you're getting just everybody like trying to compete for airtime in the conversation. And just be yourself, because when you are just yourself, you will attract genuine connections and help establish trust with your new community. And you can't get into that level of depth in the discussions. I have found, this is kind of a weird trick, that when you ask people to share about themselves, they remember the conversation with you more than if you stood there and just talked about yourself and your business the whole time. And they will like you more. Okay? Did you hear that? The more you ask questions and show interest and go deeper than surface level, that person is going to remember the conversation. I cannot get this to turn off. It's just, you can't see it. It's like, oh, it did go off. Okay, flashing. Oh, it's still going. Why is it doing this? Go off. Okay, now it's just on. Sorry, it's so annoying to me. I'll just leave it there until it runs out of battery. When you ask deeper questions, the person feels that you are paying attention to them, that you care about them. It's memorable. That's a little trick. It's a little party trick. And you will have a deeper connection, and that they will remember you and they will like you more. Okay. So what do I have here? Blah, 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 blah. Yes. Okay. So number 6 is stay prepared. So, okay, set up your agency to fully play to your strengths and keep you in your zone of genius, but you do have to step out of your comfort zone sometimes. And when you're faced with a responsibility that might be causing you anxiety or fear, the best way to tackle it is to prepare, of course. So you're taking that pressure of the unknown off of yourself before maybe a big presentation or an event by strategizing leading up to it, thinking through how you want to present yourself. People have like an elevator pitch, and I serve X, I teach X to do Y so that they can Z. You have this like quick elevator pitch. If someone asks you, I don't love those pre-rehearsed, like, I teach heart-centered female entrepreneurs to pursue their spirit animal, I don't know, so that they can fly free. You're just like, what do you do? Oh, I'm a publicist. Like, cool. That really is, to me, feels like you're sitting there saying all these buzzwords and I have to guess what it is that you do. No, but you can think about how to share what you offer in a way that feels exciting and it feels genuine, like the passion and energy you have for the work you do shines through, and people are automatically drawn to that like a magnet. And I experienced that firsthand when I first quit law and started my business. I was so excited about it. I mean, like, nerdy, geek, over the top. And I went to like my 10-year high school reunion, and people were like, didn't you go to law school? And I'm like, yeah, but I just like quit my job and I started my own firm and I represent these kinds of clients. And I got more people coming back to me and connecting me with potential clients and other resources, because they always led with, Jen is so passionate about the work she's doing. And that connection was everything. So feeling confident because you're prepared is a way that you can stare anxiety right in the face and tackle it, take the pressure off yourself by really thinking about your approach. What are the talking points during a meeting, or questions to ask new connections? My husband always asks, what shows are you watching? And do you have any trips planned? Because he really cares. He's like, wants to discover new shows, and he loves travel. He wants to hear where people are going. But people open up when you're not, just like, how's it going? How are the kids? It's like, oh, what shows are you watching right now that you really love? Or what trips do you have planned? And then you can connect if you've been there, or learn about their recommendations. It's just a way for people to like let their guard down. And preparing ahead of time will free up that energy that you would have spent worrying about what the day is going to be like, or leaving your little cozy den and going out into the world. That'll let you create insightful responses ahead of time. And you have talking points, that you've thought about, and they're in your back pocket. And then you can focus on making an impact in your conversation, confidently, like not tripping up on your words and being like, oh my God. How many of us have left a discussion or a conversation and you're like, oh my God, I am such an idiot. They must think I'm such a moron. Like, why did I say that? What, and I can't stand silent, like just radio silence in a conversation. I'm the one that has to fill it. I feel like it's my responsibility. I don't know why. And then I leave the interaction and I'm like, I am such a dork. Why did I'm like the dancing clown. I just want everyone to feel comfortable, right? So, think about how you want interactions to go and how you can carry that energy forward. And sometimes these pre-written responses will show you're proactive, you're engaged, and of course that you're passionate about your work. That's the most important thing, is really letting them feel energetically what you are like to be around. You're not a drag. You're not like sucking the life out of the room, sucking the air out of the room. You've all experienced a discussion where somebody walks up and you're just like, are you for real right now? Like, your energy sucks. Like, your personality is such a downer, like it's all doom and gloom. It's all negative. Like, I don't want to be around this. But when you're the energized, passionate, not faux, it's really who you are because you love what you're doing, that's a magnet. People love that. They feel energized by you. And then number 7, when you are a person that's introverted and you are doing a lot of things that are putting yourself out there, you have to let yourself rest. Rest is a major part of the need for self-care for us introverted digital agency owners. You have to take care of your mental and your physical health as you run your agency, because if you don't, burnout, exhaustion, they're waiting for you right around the corner. And so you have to check in with yourself throughout your workday. Sometimes I'll be like, what, my energy is kind of like fading fast, and I'm going to go sit on my balcony for a little bit and just breathe in some fresh air. I'm going to take 15 minutes. I'm going to go walk the dog. Check in with yourself throughout your workday, or if you're at an industry event, and just make sure that you don't exceed your limits and push yourself too far, and use your time off to recharge your batteries. Like if you're at a conference and you have a hotel room and you're with a group and they're like, hey, we're all going to the bar to get a drink. I personally don't like to drink. So I used to have FOMO. Like, they'd all be getting together and that's where the real magic happens. And maybe it does. But am I going to get more out of going to my room, resting, talking to my family, just resting my body, and then reconvene in the evening when we're also getting together for a planned dinner? Or am I going to be carrying my energy to this meet up at the bar where everyone is having a drink and I don't really drink, or I buy a drink because I feel like I have to, and everybody's just talking, and so is it the FOMO? I don't have FOMO. I have like NOMO. I don't want to go. FOGO, fear of going out, I guess. You guys have FOGO? I'm gonna be like, FOGO. Let's get that hashtag trending, guys. Or FOMO is, wasn't there another one that was like, what's the other one that's like FOGO? Yeah, anyway, energized by staying in. So yeah, that's not going to be me. I'm going to be like, peace, you guys, have that cocktail. Because that would also drain me, having a drink and then being like, I have to go to dinner. Like, I am exhausted. No, there's just no way. So watch out for any kind of unhealthy coping activities. Like I said, drinking, people do that, I think, to kind of like, they call it the social lubricant for a reason. And sometimes then you're staying out late, or like, I'm sorry, when you're in your 40s and you drink, it's really, you feel like garbage and you don't sleep well. So then you're missing out on good sleep. So, stick to a sleep schedule. Make sure you're getting enough hours of sleep in the night, every night. And don't let, what is this? Bedtime procrastination. So you go to sleep much later than you should. That is going to catch up with you at an event or otherwise. So you want to turn to calm, energizing activities. Maybe that's reading to help you fall asleep, a walk in your neighborhood, a walk in the park, run your toes through grass, just feel grounded to nature. Maybe it's yoga, baking. I like organizing and decluttering. I'm working with like a decluttering coach. I know it sounds so weird, but she's incredible. Katie Joy Wells. Listen to the Minimalist podcast. She is my coach, and she is a doll and lovely and amazing. So that calms me because I walk into a space and it feels light and free and energetically up for me, and calming and not like stressful. That's a great way, just to kind of like wind down at the end of the day too. That reading, nothing on your phone. A Kindle has that, not the blue light. It's a certain kind of light that does mimic a book page, but you can read in the dark and you can adjust the brightness. That shouldn't interfere with your normal like circadian rhythm and your brain being activated by like thinking it's daylight because you're looking at blue light. Do night shift on your phone at a certain time. Try to go to bed every day at the same time. Once we started doing this, I started waking up naturally at the same time every day. I get 8 hours of sleep every night. I wake up, but I'm better at falling asleep these days. I just wake up at like 2 a.m. every night. I don't know why. And then I have to fall back asleep again. But, connect with your, your calming activities. Think about what those might be and commit to doing them so that you feel like you have a reset and you know what to go to when you're just like, energetically, I am crazed at the moment. So I just need to like go inward. Does this resonate with you guys? This is just like a tiny bit of, I think also just having the conversation and saying, you know what? Cool. I'm not the only one, and other people feel this way too. And there's nothing wrong with me. And yes, I can be in a sort of extroverted career without feeling like there is something, I didn't get it off. What is going on with this thing? I know it doesn't look like it's on, but it's like, there it is. It's stupid. I don't know why. Go away. Bye-bye. That's what I say to my kids. Yeah. So I hope this resonates, but as an extroverted introvert myself, this is where I love to mentor fellow digital agency owners on like when I always say run it on your terms, this is what I'm talking about. Creating a business that is going to serve your energetic needs as well as your financial and your, personal life. Like, how are you going to build a business? So 18 and a half years later, I still love my work because I don't feel drained most days. Usually, honestly, you guys, it is my kids that drain me. Things we say now, LOL. It's from a movie, and the ladies were in their 40s talking about all the things we say in our 40s that we wouldn't have said in our 20s. We were out with another couple, and we were like talking about life insurance, and I'm like, you guys, we are the literal worst. Like, how embarrassing. We were at this hot new restaurant. Everybody looks hot. My husband knows Bobby Brown, like the singer Bobby Brown. He knows his wife from his like office space. And we've met Bobby a couple times, whatever. Like, I know he's controversial, but his wife is like amazing. And so they were at this restaurant and our friends were coming to meet us and they're like, hey, where are you? And I'm like at the bar talking to Bobby Brown and they're like, wait, what? And so, we're at this like hot spot and everybody's, hanging and chat. And then I'm like, we are literally talking about life insurance. Like, we're one step away from crawling into the grave. Like, this is so embarrassing. But that's the things we say now, right, Chrissy? Yeah. Anyway, I try to keep it cool. I really do. But every now and then you got to talk about your aching back and your herbal remedies for Jane says, wait till you get to bird watching. Well, I have all the birds flying into my office. Like, I have had at least 20 hummingbirds, and one day there were 3, I don't know how all 3 of them, but like regular birds that flew in here, and my in-laws were over, and I walk into my office and they're all like flying around, like feathers everywhere, crashing into the windows, and I start screaming because it's like, I feel like what Tippi Hedren in, Hitchcock, The Birds. Yeah. Oh yeah, Nicole Hasbird, a little budgie. That's so cute. And Christy says, yep. And the 20 different supplements I take every morning. Yeah, every morning, every afternoon. I just went to, I was this, was it Create and Cultivate? You guys know that, Create and Cultivate. I just went to their beauty and wellness summit, and I was a coach, or like they call it an advisor. So it was really nice for them to have me. I felt so bad because, yes, I do. Yeah, Tippi Hedren is Melanie Griffith's mother, who is Dakota Fanning's mother. Yeah. What are these Nepo babies? 2 generations of Nepo babies. Yeah, anyway, so I went to this wellness event, Create and Cultivate. We got a really, yes, I know about this too. Jane said she's responsible for bringing Asian nail techs to the United States. Yeah, she found a way to train all of these Asian women to get them out of, war-torn countries and bad situations for themselves, and give them a way to earn an income. Yeah, I'm trying to get more involved with them. So when they were like, can you come and be an advisor? I was like, absolutely, I will come. I did not realize that I had COVID. Of course I would not have come, but I got really, really sick. Again, being around in a live event around all those people and being on, of course I got sick the next day, but COVID-y, and I feel so bad. I haven't heard that they had like a super spreader event because I was there, thank God. But yeah, so my point is, Create and Cultivate. Everything was mushrooms. Like the goodie bag, I got like 25 different mushroom products, like mushroom vitamins and Four Sigmatic, and they were actually serving these pop and bottle, which is like collagen infused oat milk latte. They carry these at Costco. They're really expensive. I mean, I say really expensive. It's like $2 a can, which I think is a lot if you buy in bulk. But anywho, so yeah, that was really cool. Certainly draining. Had a lot of anxiety about going. I'm just being really honest with you guys. And I brought a friend with me. She ended up getting like a massive migraine, and she said, is it okay if we leave? And I said, absolutely. Because I was shaking my head no, but I'm like, absolutely. I get migraines, and I know how hard it would be to be in this type of environment. So, but I did get to connect with the babes at Create and Cultivate, and, offer some expertise in one-on-one advisory sessions, which was very cool. But everything was mushrooms. So when Chrissy said supplements, it was all like ashwagandha, reishi, lion's mane, chaga, like all. I'm just like, they taste so gross. And is this like what I have to do now, is just like eat mushroom supplements? But I was drinking I got one from Four Sigmatic that was like a cocoa with ashwagandha, and it actually tasted really good. I was drinking it this morning, so maybe there's something to it. So that's what I have for you guys today. I would encourage all of you, I know all of you that are here, even like Chrissy and I have talked, Chrissy, I know that you have gone through something similar, and I am confident that because Natasha did too, and she's like, and I said, trust me. And she was like, this was totally different, totally life-changing. This is the layering of proven frameworks from high performance coaching. And I have new training as well, Chrissy, that we never talked about before, because I did certification again and I got new content to master and offer to this program. So it's going to be tailored. And I think you would be incredible for it. All of you here would be, but I'm specifically mentioning to Chrissy because we have talked and I was like, well, you're already doing so much, but I think that we could refresh where you are and what you've learned. So anyway, I would encourage all of you to apply. And I'm putting that link again. So thank you guys so much for being here. It is way better to chat with actual people chat typing back to me versus last week when I'm like, what the heck? Why isn't anyone here? I knew something was off, but I had already started. So I'm glad to know that I wasn't just like abandoned for the day. Yeah, think about it. I would love to have you. Like you would be like perfect. You know, it's perfect for you. So, all right, guys, be well. Take good care. Wash your hands. COVID's everywhere. You don't want to get it again. It sucks. I had the worst migraine I've had ever for 3 days, where like my skin ached, my eye sockets hurt, like light hurt my face, all of the things. So try to keep yourself healthy. And I love you all so much. Thanks for being here. And I will see you again next week. Take care. Bye, my fellow extroverted introverts. Go in your hole, recuperate. I shall do the same. Bye.